Hacking. This term has become so popular as we're moving towards a technological world. Hacking involves identifying and exploiting systems in order to obtain unauthorized access to such systems. It takes decades of work to discover critical vulnerabilities and reveal the strategies that established the foundations of the internet. Do you know who was the world's most wanted hacker? Are you curious to find out how many hacking tricks he pulled? And how did the FBI finally catch him? We at 10town welcome you to our channel, and to keep you informed, motivated, and amused, we're here again today answering how the FBI caught the world's most wanted hacker. But before we move on, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you'll be notified with our latest videos. Now without further ado, let's get into the video. Kevin David Mitnick was the most wanted computer hacker in the world, the inspiration for 2 Hollywood movies, and a cyberspace cult hero. Whether you call him famous or infamous, Kevin Mitnick is one of a kind. He's the catalyst of the information security industry, a best-selling author, renowned security speaker, and the head of an elite information security firm with a 100% success rate. Let's know about his journey out of this dark world of hacking. Kevin Mitnick started as a teen. Kevin was the most elusive computer break-in artist in history. His famous electronic joyride made him part of the FBI's most wanted list for hacking into more than 40 major corporations. Kevin gained access to the computers and networks of the world's biggest companies while eluding the authorities through phone switches, computer systems, and cellular networks. Let's rewind time and get to know where this hacker came from. Kevin was born in Van Nuys. He attended James Monroe High School and became an amateur radio operator. That's how he understood electronic wavelengths and signals working processes. He also had access to computer systems and software that the majority of teenagers were not aware of at the time. In 1975, when he was 12, he already found his first hack in society. Back then, in Los Angeles Transit, a punch card system was in use. A very specific hole was given to every ticket while a person traveled. Kevin noticed that all of the bus drivers used the same hole puncher. He managed to convince the bus driver that he was working on a school project and asked for a sample hole punch and the location of where he could buy his own puncher. After having his own puncher, he collected unused transfer slips from the garage next to the bus company. And from then on, he rode every bus free. This whole tricking process is called social engineering. This is used by psychologists to describe the manipulation of people, and it turned out Mitnick was a master of it, even in the tender preteen age. Mitnick took phone phreaking one step further. He had in-depth knowledge of the phone systems and could even imitate dial tones just by whistling a few high-pitched squeaks. He could make international phone calls without forking over a single penny. Along with his friend Lewis, Kevin hacked McDonald's drive-thru speaker. He did this using a modified two-way radio. The drive-thru speaker was not directing into the cashier's headset, and instead it directed into Kevin in the parked car across the street. While investigating the odd working system, the cashier peered into the speaker, and Kevin shouted through the radio, "What the heck are you looking at?" This freaked out the cashier. Mitnick's skills advanced with time. In 1979, at 16 years old, he gained his first unauthorized access to a computer network of a company called Digital Equipment Corporation, or DEC. He broke into their system and copied the company's software. It's widely believed that he once obtained full control of Pacific Bell's network simply to prove it could be done. In 1981, he and his friend named Louis Toupain were charged with stealing computer manuals from Pacific Bell, a phone company now owned by AT&T. He could divert the phone lines and intercept any of the calls going through the exchange. In 1982, he hacked the North American Defense Command, or NORAD, an achievement that inspired the 1983 film War Games. Once he was released on probation, his head was full of crazy ideas. He dove right back into the hacking pool. His next project, hacking the NSA and listening into conversations of the world's biggest wiretappers. But it was 1983, and that was perhaps his greatest hacking achievement. At the time, he was studying at the University of South California, using one of the machines at the university, likely a TRS-80 computer system. Mitnick gained access to something called ARPANET. Think of this as one of those ancestors of the internet, except this was reserved for the army, large corporations, and universities. In other words, it was really important. In 1989, he hacked Digital Equipment Corporation's network and made copies of their software. Because DEC was a leading computer manufacturer at the time, this act put Mitnick on the map. Again, Kevin ended up being caught, although it wasn't because of his own oversight. It was because somebody else turned him in. It was Lenny DiCiccio that betrayed him. He was later arrested and convicted and sent to prison. He hacked many more companies, including IBM, Nokia, and Motorola. He faced more arrests and many more probations, along with an FBI hunt that led agents all the way to North Carolina. After years of hiding, Mitnick was discovered and arrested in February of 1995 at his apartment in Raleigh. He finally came under a mountain when he hacked the computer system of Tsutomu Shimomura, a research scientist. Shimomura traced the hack to a modem connected to a cell tower near Raleigh. After this, it didn't take the police long to arrest him. Mitnick was charged with a pretty hefty rap sheet, including 14 counts of wire fraud, 8 counts of possession of unauthorized access devices, the interception of wire and electronic communications, unauthorized access to a federal computer, and causing damage to a computer. But how long can a hacker be kept in his cage? On January 21, 2007, Kevin was released. Now he had two options, either to return to what he was doing, or he could put his talents to good use. Throughout his hacking career, Mitnick never exploited the access and data he obtained, so he used his hobby that made him one of America's most wanted to work for the companies instead of working against them. Credibility was key for a shift from the dark side to the light side. The FBI also knew that Mitnick's easy access to credit cards, social security numbers, and proprietary software never turned him into a money stealer. Although Mitnick ultimately went white hat, he may be part of the both hats gray area. So where is he now? He's no longer the hacker and works for the good guys as a paid security consultant, public speaker, and author. He runs his own security consultant business, and in 2014, he launched Mitnick's Absolute Zero-Day Exploit Exchange, which sells unpatched, critical software exploits to the highest bidder. Kevin offers security consulting for Fortune 500 companies and the FBI, and performs a number of security testing services for the world's largest companies. He teaches social engineering classes to government agencies and shows how to protect themselves from exploitation. According to Mitnick, he never meant any harm, he was just having fun. He was being the magician by breaking the systems and getting the code. That's why he was going after cell phones, and that's why he was going after operating systems to become better at hacking them. He spent 5 years in prison for stealing software from a range of companies, costing them hundreds of thousands of dollars. And even as early as his LA bus riding days, he was exploiting the best quality in people. This was all down the road about the most wanted hacker of all time and how the FBI caught him. If you happen to like this video, subscribe to our channel, show your love by hitting the like button, and spread your love by sharing this with others. Don't forget to click that notification bell button so you won't miss out on any other videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll get back to you on another video.